These are the top 5 stories on TV Platinum. On number 1, the National Council of State has approved the appointment of Professor Joash Ojo Amopitan as the new chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC). The announcement was made in a statement by the presidential spokesman Bayo Onanuga on Thursday, following the council's meeting at the presidential villa in Abuja. President Bola Tinubu presented Amopitan to the council for confirmation, succeeding Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, who completed his 10-year tenure in October 2025. Amopitan, a professor of law from Kogi State, becomes the first person from the state to head the Electoral Commission. On number 2, the African Democratic Congress (ADC) has called on President Bola Tinubu to accept the World Bank's latest report, indicating 139 million Nigerians now live below the poverty line. ADC National Policy Secretary Bolaji Abdullahi described the report as an undeniable verdict on what he called the administration's failed economic policies. He said the findings expose the gap between government claims of progress and the harsh realities faced by citizens whose livelihoods have been devastated under the APC-led government. The ADC accused the government of masking economic failures with false statistics and called for greater focus on food security, job creation, and social welfare. On number 3, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has called for the immediate release of detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, describing his continued detention as a stain on Nigeria's commitment to the rule of law. In a post on his official X handle on Thursday, Atiku expressed support for a campaign launched by human rights activist Omoyele Sowore demanding Kanu's release. He said the fine court orders that granted Kanu's bail amounts an abuse of power and an assault on justice. Sowore had earlier urged Southeast leaders and stakeholders to join the planned protest calling for Kanu's freedom. On number 4, the federal government has ordered all tertiary institutions to submit reports on unutilized state fund allocations within the next 30 days. Minister of Education Dr. Tunji Alausa made this known at a strategic meeting held at the State Fund headquarters in Abuja on Thursday. Alausa noted that idle funds have slowed infrastructure development, stressing the urgent need for transparency and accountability. He announced training, mentorship, and quarterly reviews to boost compliance with the public dashboards, tracking funds, and sanctions for defaulters. Dr. Alausa stressed that success requires teamwork among state fund, institutional heads, and auditors, reminding all that every naira represents public trust. And lastly, the House of Representatives has launched an investigation into the non-functionality of Nigeria's state-owned refineries in Port Harcourt, Warri, and Kaduna State. The decision followed a motion moved by Lagos lawmaker Oluwaseun during a plenary session presided over by the Deputy Speaker Benjamin Kalu on Thursday. Wingen expressed concern that despite the reported spending of about $18 billion on refinery rehabilitation over the past 2 decades, the facilities remain idle, forcing the country to depend on imported petroleum products. He noted that the NNPC's leadership has attempted to distance the current administration from what he described as a mismanagement of Nigeria's refineries. However, the House has directed its committees on petroleum resources, gas, and public assets to investigate how the rehabilitation funds were used between 2010 and 2024 and to report back within 4 weeks. And that's the top 5 stories on TV Platinum. I am Hakima Dada. Do well to subscribe to all our social media platforms for more news updates. Thank you for watching and bye for now.